Hello you guys, this is a sit down chit chat style video in the car, which I love doing. This is going to be so much fun and such a good time. It's probably my favorite type of content to create. So don't mind the background, it's Les Schwab tires that I need to take care of this week. And also the lighting, hopefully it's good, fingers crossed. It is very overcast today. It's a perfect day for pictures, but I don't know if it's a perfect day to film. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this topic that I came up with yesterday, and I was like, I gotta talk about this. I don't think I really ever have. And that's talking about being quirky or different or so-called weird, all those things. So this really resonates to me because I've been called out with my personality and behavior to be any of those three names. And I'll explain, I'll share some examples as well, but just let me first say, like, I didn't realize until my young adult life that I was weird or different. And also, people started calling me quirky as I got older and into adulthood, when I started opening up more and talking more and getting out of my shell, getting out of my comfort zone and becoming more outgoing, not quite extroverted, but more friendly. And so because they're calling me quirky, that must be the case, that must be the honest, cold truth. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I know a lot of people joke and tease and say, like, oh, I'm so quirky. Like, it's a cop-out for your behavior. Like, oh, I'm just born this way, I'm weird this way, whatever, this is me. But for me, I take it to heart, and I've always taken it as a negative connotation type thing, where it's an issue with me, where I'm not good enough, or I'm imperfect, or I'm just socially awkward or weird. And also, a lot of people who have social anxiety, they can navigate which way they go. Do they have another disorder like Asperger's or on the spectrum like autism? Or do they actually have social anxiety? It's not just social awkwardness, right? So it can be kind of both things. They can often intertwine, they can link up. And for me, I don't think I have Asperger's. I think everybody's on the spectrum at least a little bit, but I don't think I have it to that degree to be diagnosed as with Asperger's. I think mine is social awkwardness and social anxiety. So those things can be kind of the same. Like, you have social awkwardness, but you don't know what trait you fall under. Is it Asperger's or autism? Or is it the social anxiety disorder? So I hope that made sense. It's kind of hard to explain. But I've been thinking about it and how I come across, and a part of why I started making videos when I was 18 years old, a senior in high school. I started making videos because I wanted to see how I came across. I wanted to practice my social skills. Yes, you're a camera. Technically, you're not real right now. You're not watching me currently. But it was a way for me to see myself, to view myself through a lens, through a visual, seeing how I interact, how I react, how I respond, what my interactions are like. And so it's been very healthy, helpful, and healing for me to be able to have this as a platform, because I'm able to practice my social skills and see how I view myself, right? So that's been very cool. But I just think about the people over the past few years who have commented on my personality. And I remember there was a mentor teacher that I worked with in college to become a teacher, right? And I remember she was like, "Girl, you are quirky." And she talked about it for like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh geez, like, I really like, admire, and respect her. I don't think any less of her, but that comment did make me feel small, like, oh, quirky, geez, well, something's wrong with me. What's the problem here? Like, what did I do wrong? Am I offbeat or something? And so you think of yourself in a new light, in a dim light, where you're not glowing and sparkling anymore. Like, you degrade yourself. You let yourself have a downgrade. You're not as cool as you once were because of this comment that you're quirky. And Zooey Deschanel, new girl, quirky. And there's been shows in the early 2000s that would show the quirky different girl, you know? But some people really have to try to be that way. Some people just are innately that personality. They don't try. They are themselves. They're very non-foreign to who they are. Like, they're very fluid, and it just comes naturally to them. And I'm not trying. I think a part of why I come across the way I do is because I've only been this friendly and quote outgoing for so many years. Because for a lot of my life, like honestly, probably for like half of my life, because I'm closer to 30 than I am to 25 at this point. And I started opening up when I was like 14 years old. So really, half my life, I've been very distant to humankind, to the human species, and just tight-lipped and not saying, not sharing, not doing, right? And so it's very interesting to navigate social cues and interaction and communication when for most of my life, well, what seemed like most of my life, I was very opposite of those things. I was not a good communicator. I was not an effective, efficient communicator at all. And so I've had to start over and start over from scratch to resurrect me who I could be. And it's just a whirlwind because communication is hard and people are difficult. And when you have social anxiety, everything is harder in life. Appointments, errands, phone calls, whatever. Life is not easy. But with being called quirky, like I also get bubbly, happy, quirky a lot. But I don't see it like I used to see it. I'm struggling with my view of it right now because I'm seeing it very negative. But before I was like, okay, well, this is bad to be called that. And then that changed to, oh, it's actually a compliment. They see me as unique. Okay. And then now I'm right back, like full circle. I turned around to my previous thought where I'm less than, or I'm not enough, or something's wrong with me, or I have a problem. And having a stutter didn't help. I still have one, but it's very much rare now. It's not often that I have a stammering episode. It's very slight. But that was not a good thing for me because as a perfectionist, I want to be perfect. I want to sound good, right? And so that's a whole other story. But I'm just realizing, like, who cares what people think? It doesn't matter what people say. And I think the point when I realized just how different I was when these college girls in one of my classes, they were spreading rumors, saying things, talking bad about me, talking behind my back. And I remember for days, I like wish to God, like I would say a prayer. I was like, I wish that they can have bad days. Like I was so fed up with the mistreatment because they were so mean to me and the reasons weren't valid. I didn't do anything. I didn't do any harm, but they just didn't like me. That was the first time I've ever been bullied in a college class, and that was ironically my last semester. Then I had to retake that class. I passed the coursework, but not the practicum. And I'm glad that I had to retake the class because I would have ended my college career, my college days in a funk and in a slump. And that would have sucked ass because I worked my ass off during college, and I did not deserve to be thus treated. So I'm glad for that. But still, that instance made me feel really weird. Like, yeah, I was bullied in middle school. I was bullied in high school sometimes for my stutter or my weight or my personality, but I've never been bullied in a college class until then. I made it almost 6 years of college not being bullied or harassed or anything, and then these bullies making fun of me. It's like, are we 5 years old again? And I have no justification for bullies. There is nothing that okays it. Well, I take that back. If someone's being really mean to somebody, they deserve a punch in the face. And they do deserve prayers like, oh, I wish the universe can bring bad omen to them. So I guess I take that back in a way. But I would just say, if you are quirky, different, unique, and we all are in our own way because we're human and we're individuals, that's your asset. That is your biggest, number one, most beautiful gift and thing you have going for you. And it is not a bad thing. People will make fun of what they want to make fun of, but just know at the end of the day, like, hey, you were yourself. You brought you to the table. You were able to bring light to the world. That was you who did that. No one else can do that. No one else has your touch. And I just think it's important to know that being an individualistic person is such a blessing and a gift. It's not a curse. It's not a bad thing. It is beautiful to bring who you are. And I've realized, okay, my bubbly, quirky personality is different. And the world needs that. The world needs me. And it's not bad to be different, and the world needs more of that. And so I'm going to start looking at it differently and not shun myself and my personality and my talents and things like I have. I've felt like I've suppressed myself the past few weeks, and I didn't realize it until I made this video. But I've really like shrunk myself down, like dummied myself down in a way, just in the sense that like I'm still being me, but I'm toning it down when I don't have to. And I've never felt more myself than I have lately, yet at the same time, I don't want to be seen as quirky or different or anything. And I just want you guys to know that your quirks are a gift and your talents are so very beautiful. And I just want you to remember that. Remember who you are, remember what you bring, remember the things you do, and just know the world needs more of that. And quirky to me, it just means like basically, I looked it up, it's like an endearing way to interact, kind of, or like a little offbeat or a little off from center or a little something along those lines. It was essentially like in, what's it called? Like not unforeseen, but like, oh, what would it be? Oh, like it throws people off a little bit. They don't expect it. They didn't see it coming, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I'm going to be meeting Nate's family here in a couple days, and I'm nervous, but I know that it will be a good thing, and it will help me face my anxiety even more, and it will be a really good experience and opportunity, and I think it'll be really beautiful, and I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. But I also know like my quirks can bless other people because I have a lot to say and show and do and offer the world, and I'm not going to suppress myself or submit myself, if that's the right word, submit myself to lower who I am, to not have myself up here, to not think of myself up here. Like, okay, I'm still rambling. I should really stop talking. Okay, bye.